While we were away, Mr. Lukman in Ghana, he called in and is waiting right now. Good morning to you, Mr. Lukman.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead.
Good morning to Right Honorable Ikuforiji. Nice to see him again. He's looking good.
Thank you very much.
What I want Ashiwaju to do and for him to succeed is, first of all, he should not go away from removing subsidy from day one. If the subsidy is well managed, we should remove subsidy because there is no how he can perform magic without removing subsidy. Yeah. And glory be to God, Dangote Refinery is coming on board. Second issue, which it has to do with Right Honorable there, is for state government to allow local government autonomy. The reason why we are having poverty in Nigeria is because the local governments are not allowed to perform. And we should take away local government election from state government. We should allow INEC to be conducting local government election so that we will be able to have a good democracy at the local government level. These are the people that are the closest people to the people, closest government to the people. And the local government should be taking their allocations and state governors should take away. So Mr. President, as a former governor, he should try his best to sit with all these state governments. They are the ones frustrating that country.
Okay.
The electricity, we should do something about it. The Siemens, President Buhari has started, they should follow up. At every local government, there should be a transmission that will help the electricity to make perform. This is a little thing. Nigeria doesn't have much problem. The problem we are having is how to implement
leadership.
The implementation so that everything will work out. I wish Ashwadi the best of luck and the best thing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lukman, calling in from Ghana there. Do you want
Mr. Lukman, I appreciate your contribution. They are very germane and very, they are good. I mean, a lot of things that you mentioned have been in the open for long. People have been agitating for some.
In fact, he came down decisively that remove that subsidy and remove it as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful that...
People are saying that one is a hot chestnut, though.
Nothing will happen. It will be done, I trust...
At the right time.
I trust the man who is going to captain this ship. I know he will look at it, both ways and then decide when to remove it. And as for removing, I know it will be removed.
It has to be done.
But exactly the exact time, I don't know. And of course, I agree with you also on the issue of
local government.
The local government. Though, I mean, I'm not in support of INEC coming to conduct local government elections because it's supposed to be local. It's not something that INEC should partake in, but something should be done.
No, I think it should also be independent.
To ensure that every electoral body in the state are independent enough.
Okay.
To the extent that elections into the local offices are conducted properly. There are lots of, in fact, if we do a good transformation of our local government, we will definitely see more, higher rate of development in this country. And some of us are even working on some things like that. We're going to present papers using our personal relationship with Mr. President to present some of these papers to him.
Further ideas.
Yes,
for
further ideas.
Okay. Mr. Yakub, good morning to you, sir, and thank you for holding on. Go right ahead now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jory. And then good morning to former Speaker of Lagos State.
Thank you.
Jory, the truth must be seen here. I can tell you for free, a lot of expectation. We are expecting a lot from Ashwad Bola and Tinubu. I won't lie, because a lot of us, Mr. George, Reverend Dominic, and the rest, even those ones that are trying to call him but are unable to get him, we are all expect a lot from Ashwad Bola and Tinubu. But I don't have any doubt that he will deliver. You know why? When somebody just talks about electricity now, if you already, I didn't mean that in period 1999 when Ashwat Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the Lagos State government, governor rather, you know, he started something at Ikuforiji site, but the federal government at that time stopped it. I didn't mean it was never stopped.
Okay, the independent power project.
Independent power project. A lot of states could have emulated the same thing, and then all the power issue could have been the thing of past. But as a president now, what do you think it will be able to do? We consider that it will give every state, even though I think maybe there's been enacted law now that allows to generate light now. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to be corrected. But if that has not happened, I don't have that in my mind that Ashwat Bola Ahmed Tinubu will do the same thing. Because if a state can generate light and sell it to the citizen of a particular state, and then the other state that cannot be able to do, Lagos State can have effect and supply them. But having said that, another thing I want personally from Ashwat Bola Ahmed Tinubu is this. I want Ashwat Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a president to be able to talk to the Nigerian citizens, if it's not quarterly, because we need a president that will be telling us where we are, where are we going, what is really happening. You get it? Not that I will be begging for information from the president we are voting for. No.
Yeah.
Ashwat Bola Ahmed Tinubu should change that. He should be able to address Nigerian citizens every three months if it is not quarterly, because we need to support him. But if you don't tell us how the Nigerians go to support, even the subsidy of a thing, you should be able to tell us what we have to do if you remove it.
All right.
So that we can be able to support him all along.
Okay, then. Thank you very much for calling in. I want to take you back to something you spoke about just before the call started coming in. We're talking about the leadership of the National Assembly, the principal.
This man, he touched some important.
He did, but
and there is no doubt.
Okay, go. Since you have that in mind, go there. Go there. I'll reserve my question for later.
The electricity and so on. I think that's one of the things we should thank Mr. President Buhari for. He has just signed the bill to law. So that thing that Ashwaju attempted by the federal government
under Obasanjo at the time. Obasanjo
scuttled it. Now is going to be replicated across the nation because the President Buhari has signed the new law.
So that states
can now go into this business and get it done properly. Okay. So let my brother rest assured that that's also Mr. Yakubu. Let him rest assured that. And of course, it is also true that a lot of Nigerians, in fact, every Nigerian is now looking for. We are all hopeful. We are hungry, so we all hope that Tinubu will bring that manna from heaven, and he will, by God's grace.
Okay, so let me go back into, I wanted to get your remarks on the National Assembly, leadership. And, there are sorts of consultations going on. It has been decided, your party's Central Working Committee has decided that, for example, the Senate President's office is zoned where it is zoned, that is the South-South. Now, there are people, and they've done the similar thing for the, House of Representatives. They've also done similar thing for, the deputies, the vices of those offices. Now, some people have said, Ada, let me quote Ada, is another viewer that calls in quite frequently. She has said she has no problem with the zonings, but what she considers the micromanaging, that is to say, zoning to an area and then specifying a name, they gave the impression that they weren't too sure if that was necessary. So what would be your take on that?
Well, I really don't think the party went on to mention names.
It did. So that South-South, for instance, No,
I think what really happened was that the party has zoned the Senate presidency, for example, to the south-south.
And particularly Akpabio.
No.
Yes.
If
the spokesman said that.
If it is zoned to Akpabio.
No, to south-south.
It's not to south-south.
To south-south.
It's to Akpabio. It's been zoned to the south-south.
Okay.
And of course, Akpabio is one of the gladiators, one of those who are vying.
So if they had left
and
it
don't
as you are
forget
saying,
also there are some laws.
that complaint would
there
have
are
come.
rules of the house that nobody can easily tamper with.
Of course, they're going to elect
If
themselves.
somebody is coming in to the Senate for the first time, he cannot come to be the president of the Senate. So when you now sit down and you look, if it is zoned to the south-south,
for example, in that, because we're just talking about this methodology of the
now
party.
you look at it, who are those from the south-south? How many of them?
So you have to consult with them.
We have to.
We had a representative who was complaining that he was not consulted with.
Don't forget, you were talking about politicians.
Yes.
I'm a politician, and I know what it is. You know, politicians and their ambitions. When a politician has an ambition, his eyes remain closed to every other reason. It's only that his own narrow perspective that he sees. And when you hear us complaining of marginalization, of the leadership, tampering this, doing that, it is all because we feel our ambition is not going to be realized given the directives of the party. But this is a party democracy.
Okay. We're talking about, what to expect from the Tinubu administration, which will kick off after the
May 29.
After May 29. Calling in from Jos now. Did I get the name right? Is it Mr. Ellis? Good morning to you.
Yes, good.
Okay. Good morning. Please go ahead. Ellis in Plateau. Are you still there, Mr. Ellis? I fear we might
Hello, Mr. Yori.
Yes. Please go ahead right now.
Okay, thank you. My simple comment this morning is for APC to put their house in order because of the too many contestants for this National Assembly positions may rock the boat of APC, giving room to the opposition. So the northern politicians should be checked, should be brought to order by the incoming government. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Ellis.
I think that's a good advice, and I'm sure the leadership of our great party will listen to it. But it is expected that...
No, they heard. They heard. Whether they will listen is another matter. They might have heard.
Yeah.
But hearing is one thing. No, doing it is another. Because I still had a member of your party, a loyal member of your party, who was complaining. Was that yesterday? I believe it was yesterday. The honorable gentleman who was commenting on the methodology for selecting the speaker. And his complaint was that nobody's consulting us. Some people are just sitting down somewhere. They're deciding what names to put in. So you're not even just zoning to the southwest, for example, in the case of the the state senate, but you're also specifying a name, and they feel that shouldn't be the case. But you are saying that, well, politicians are what they are.
We know what it is like. If it is not, any decision that is not in your favor means the leadership is not doing the right thing.
But Mr. Ellis was saying that the party needs to, the ruling
party needs
to put his house in order, lest there be trouble.
There is no doubt about it. He has said...
Because you don't have a majority, for instance.
He has said it as it
You don't have a two-third majority, as you have enjoyed in the past.
Even if you do, how long does it take to get that broken if the party does not get its acts together? But I'm sure we will get our acts together, and things will move in the right direction for the nation. at least in the interest of the nation.
Indeed, because that's very, very important.
Yeah,
and
we will.
The president-elect, when he becomes the president, will certainly not want to be ruling with a fractured kind of a house.
Exactly.
You just want the National Assembly. Much as the National Assembly, and for that matter, state assemblies try to be as independent. In fact, they don't like to be seen as rubber stamp houses. They don't like to be seen as that.
It's the worst that can happen to a parliament, to just be a rubber stamp.
But then they can't be belligerent and unnecessary. We can't have the Saraki Senate presidency kind of situation.
No, we can't afford it.
So you're quite optimistic then that in keeping with the track record of the man, the reputation of the man, the global appeal of the man, that whereas ruling Nigeria can never be said to be a piece of cake, but for the man that we're talking about, he's going to be in a very comfortable
By the
environment.
grace of God, I know he will get it done, and he will do it rightly.
Elder David in Alimosho, good morning to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yori. God will bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir, and you too.
We expect a very good thing from Tinubu.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, because the man believes in rule of law. I've said you on this platform that we actually follow to the last letter. And we thank God today that he's there. I've said it from time on this your own television that he will be elected and become the president of this country. Yes, politics is complete resolution. It's over liberty. Everybody asks for this and that. But let me tell you, Tinubu is a crisis manager. He knows how to manage crisis. And you will see what will happen in the next 4 years. People will thank God that a man like that has come on board. And let me even thank this government of APC from 2015. I'm proud of them.
Okay.
And God will bless every one of them because they come actually to install democracy in the proper way how it should be. This is not politics. I'm telling you the truth. I was in PDP. I joined it at 1st of October 1998. I was there 2014 when I left that place there.
Okay.
You cannot compare it with what is happening in APC today.
Okay.
So pray for God's sake.
Oh, you used to be a member of APC.
PDP.
Oh, okay, PDP.
In the next 4 years.
Okay.
Yes, you see the changes. And it's going to route to 2031. I've said it on this platform. And God will bless you. God will bless me.
Thank you, sir.
We are divided with 4. God will bless this country.
Amen.
I am proud. I'm happy. Everything will be good for me and you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in, Elder David. Now, that's an enthusiast, he's one of the numerous viewers. You see, people can't call in because, the lines are what they are, but he's one of those ones. And so he's all positive. He's all positive. He knows, it's like he's taking it for granted that there's going to be quality governance, because we've often heard it said that what we lack has been governance. What we lack has been leadership. Well, hopefully, with Tinubu, nobody will be saying that anymore.
I mentioned something during the course of this discussion. I told you that Tinubu is a Democrat.
That's right.
And when you talk about our democracy, you know how much Tinubu has done. But I'm re-emphasizing it, that Nigeria will be better for electing Tinubu. Because look at the 3 arms of government. Tinubu is a pioneer when it comes to administration in this country, proper administration, getting the right people into the right places, tapping from any corner of the geography to get somebody who can do the best thing. Look, he had no relationship with Professor Yemi Osinbajo, but looking for a good hand to manage, because he knew what he was going for, a good hand to manage, a competent hand, professional hand to manage his Ministry of Justice. Yemi Osinbajo was suggested to him. He picked him. We know what Yemi Osinbajo did as the AG, Commissioner for Justice in Lagos.
I mean, you could go on and on with these quality acquisitions.
That is for the executive side.
Yes.
For the legislative side, when he was governor, I was speaker. And I know the relationship we had. Tinubu will not interfere unnecessarily in the affairs of the house. Excuse me. And he had so much respect for the legislature. If there is any difference, he invites us
And you thrash it out.
to round table. Look, no, people think, they say he's using we were using him. That's the honest truth. He had invited the house.
We've run out of time, but
a secret.
Yes, please.
Last secret to the field.
Okay.
Do you know that as governor of Lagos, leader of the party then, we have had issues with Tinubu. He had invited us, his wife, our first lady, had prepared food for the 40 members.
First lady after the 20.
He was first lady of Lagos.
Okay, first lady of Lagos. Okay, that's what you meant by our first lady.
You know, she prepared food for the 40 of us. We got there. We even decided that we were not going, and we didn't go. He did it. The wife prepared food again for the second time. He invited us to meeting. We refused to go. It was the third time when some elders intervened, and we went. And over there, we were talking to him. Some members of the house, they were talking to the governor, who was leader of the party. They were talking to him as if they were talking to some junior members of their family.
So
that is Tinubu for you. And look at the judiciary.
The man of the people.
See what he did.
We've got
See what he did.
We've got to go now. We've got to go now. So I know once you're speaking about your principle like that, it goes on and on. But I want to thank you, Honorable Adeyemi Ikuforiji.
Thank you very much.
Former Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly.
Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure that you came on.
So happy to have you.
Indeed. So that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.